Hello, welcome to our Stitch Talk. Yay! So let me make sure that I have everything good to go right now. Real quick. If you are on, say hi and tell me where you're watching from. Today's video, I actually just titled it literally like 2 seconds ago when I was thinking about it. I was like, what should I title today's video? Well, today's video is called Tips for Surefire Counting Wins. So, of course, when you're stitching, you want to make sure that you're counting properly, right? Oftentimes we have issues because we have to recount, count again, and then we're kind of off. But I'm basically going to show you kind of what I do to make sure that I pretty much, I won't say 100% of the time, but to really make sure that I'm counting properly, especially in a scary situation in regards to extreme cross country. Hey, Nikki. And extreme cross country is not scary, but for some people it is. So I'm trying to like alleviate the, or relieve the mindset of, oh my gosh, extreme cross country is so scary. So I'm going to show you kind of where I am in my project and then go over what's going down. Okay, so basically I am in this area right here, and so as you know, I am using Easy PDF. Now this area tends to scare some people because it's easy when you're up here, you know, counting is easy up here. This is a big block, right? When you come down, you have some scariness a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to show you kind of what I do. I like to do the easiest method possible so that I don't have to count like a million times, but also so that I just use what's already in the chart. And as we move along further, I know I've been working on this page for like ever because I've been mainly focusing on my dragon, but as soon as I'm done with my dragon, I'm actually going to do several colors on this one first before I start vintage love letters, because honestly it takes a little bit to like start up a new project and I don't feel like it. So since this one's already started, I'm just going to keep going with this. So let me show you kind of how I go about things. And let me actually pull up a different page because I just want to make sure that I'm seeing what's happening, because sometimes Facebook doesn't show me who's watching and then I'm like, I miss comments and stuff, and that is not cool. I want to make sure that I'm interacting with everybody. Okay, so also, I'm going to try next week, I'm going to change the time of our Stitch Talk. It's going to be a little bit later, just because some of you don't get to watch like live for whatever reason because of timing, so we're going to try something different. Anyway, since we only have 30 minutes, I'll stop talking now and get back to stitching and showing you what I do. So, like I said, I'm working on this section. Just kidding, it just moved on me. I'm working on this section right here. So the easiest thing is to anchor off of these stitches. And the reason why I stitch largest color to smaller color is because of the anchoring. So right now we have these couple stitches we can use to figure out where all these little, I wouldn't really call them ninja stitches. I guess if you were doing normal, no, I won't say normal. If you're doing like maybe parking or something else, I guess it would be a little bit different. But okay, so basically what I do, let me just finish the stitch. Okay, so obviously the easiest, I'm going to just go line by line, line by line. Some people may stitch like down here and then like over here or whatever. I just do it very like, I have a process to it for the most part. Okay, so I'm just going to stitch this line right here. And literally you just anchor, use your other stitches to help. So you want to minimize bouncing around so much, and you really want to go in like little rows. 1, 2, 3. Also, I'd love to know if anyone's stitching and what you guys are working on. Oh, show. Okay, and it looks like my project is like, it looks like I'm working on like 40 count, doesn't it? Because it looks like so small with the camera. But I promise you it's actually 28 count, if anyone was wondering. Okay. Alright, so I finished this one. I honestly checked off my stitches quite a bit. It's lagging a tiny bit because this project is like massive. But anyway, I definitely checked off my stitches quite a bit. Some people might be like, oh, I don't need to do that, you know, but you do, because it makes sure that you don't make so many counting mistakes. And when you're doing this type of stitching, you absolutely want to make sure you're not doing a bunch of counting mistakes. Worst comes to worst, you know, if you really feel like you need to do it, count 3 times, stitch once, okay? I learned that from a friend. Okay, so now I'm just going to tell you, if you know this already, then that's totally cool, but, you know, everyone's stitch is different. So sometimes people will be right here, and they'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anybody got time for that? I use this stitch right here, and I just count 1, 2, 3. It's like way easier. 1, 2, 3. And then, again, I don't count all this. I just look at this stitch right here, and then I go 1, 2. And obviously this would take less time if I wasn't like doing this very slowly for you. Okay. Now, also I do modified tint stitch. If you want to know what that is, I talk about it on another one of my videos, so definitely check it out. Okay, now I'm going to go down here and do this stitch. Now, I don't need to count this part because I already stitched this, and I'm just marking off for you. I don't need to count this. I just look. There's a stitch right here. Boom. Put it right below. I'm telling you, it saves time. I don't know if this is like common knowledge or not, but I'm just helping the sister out, okay? Now, another way to do it faster, use this stitch, which is already there. Count 1, 2 over 1. And this is literally the best way to make sure. Obviously, all these other stitches have to be in the correct place in order for all this to work. If they're not, then, you know, you have some issues. But literally, that is all there is to it. Now, I am going to go and stitch this one. I guess I could technically stitch this one and then go here and then go back down, blah, 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 blah. But honestly, it makes the most sense to come here. Think of like how the thread is on the back. It makes the most sense to come here and then go across. Okay? So I'm going to count over 3 and down 1. 1, 2, 3, down 1. Don't need to count because I'm here already. And I'm honestly not going to stitch all this over here yet because it makes the most sense for me to stitch down here and then come over and then come over and then do these and then go back down. Okay. Let me see if I can. Okay, we're good. Sometimes I get sidetracked with my modified tint. But yeah, it's like super easy. It doesn't have to be complicated. And when you're doing tint, you really have to make sure you don't pull very hard. Okay, I did this one, so I'm gonna come over to I forget if I was doing, I think I was doing this. Yep. Okay, now we have this right here, so we don't need to count. We just go right up here. Actually, I think I'm supposed to go the other way for this. I mean, really, whether you do half stitch most of the time or modified half stitch, whatever, don't matter. Okay, now I'm gonna go here. Alright, see how simple that was? Super simple. Yes, Petra. Yeah. It honestly just makes the most sense for me to stitch this way. I think I honestly think any piece that you're doing can totally be stitched extreme cross country. But you know, some people say that this certain piece is better for extreme cross country than other pieces, and meh. I mean, I just do it with all my pieces, so I don't literally go crazy. Okay, so now we are here. So in this case, you know, you could come back here or you could go over here. It really doesn't matter. I'm probably just going to go here and then go back that way. There's really no right or wrong way to stitch. And guess what I'm going to use to help? This right here. I'm going to use this and then just come down 2 or 3. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. One, two, three. I'm thinking next time maybe I'll have some music. You know, unfortunately, Facebook has like all these laws where you can't play like certain music or whatever, and so the video could get banned or whatever. So I have to find royalty-free music to make Facebook happy. The struggles. So if anyone's wondering like what tent stitch is or anything like that, I did make videos about tent stitch if anyone's wondering. Okay, so I'm going over 3, or you can count down. So you can go like 1, 2, 3, or just count down. I'll count down. 1, 2. Actually, I'm gonna go this other way. 1, 2. Whoops. Nope, that was correct. It's hard sometimes with the Lugana to like count in regards, not count, but like where your needle goes. Like it just looks very different. If you are like used to Ada, you know how it's so different to stitch on Lugana. I used to call it Laguna. Ain't gonna lie to you. I used to go to the stitching shop back when I was in Tampa, and I would always say, Laguna, Laguna, you know, like I want some Laguna, and the lady would be that owns the stitching shop would be like, that's not the right name, and I was like so embarrassed that I kept saying it wrong, but meh. Okay, so I'm going to leave this stitch. I should have actually done it when I was over there, but it's okay. I'm not trying to be tracking myself all the way up over there, so I'm just gonna do these 2. Ain't nobody got time for that. be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do post things outside of just this video. I have fitness stuff on there, just like one talk, and like I'm about to post a tofu recipe coming up soon on there. And then of course all my stitching stuff, and every now and then I will do a stitching video that you don't see in here, so you want to stay tuned to that. Alright, I guess I'm not really doing modified 10 right now. Okay. I'm getting close to ending a thread. Or ending my floss. I feel really bad about these two little stitches right here. I'll just go back up. It's not a big deal. So I'll go up 3 and over 1 from this one. 1, 2, 3, and over 1. And then here. So I'm curious for my stitching friends. Would you actually, and I'll show you my, well, I have to come up somewhere. Okay, let me just show you here. So would you keep stitching with this length? Or would you end it? The question of the day. I'm wondering. Because typically I try to stitch really until the last minute or to the last little bit. But I'm also going to do a pen stitch. Actually, I'm just going to end it. This is when I would end it. So. But tell me what you think. And I really do want to see what you guys are stitching on. Not that my wish list isn't long enough. Struggle life. Okay, I'm doing a pen stitch. So, if you don't know, I do end my work on the front. I end and start on the front. Right now I'm doing a pen stitch. I also made a video about that as well. And it is possible to do a pen stitch with 2 over 1 or 1 over 1 or literally any combination is fine. Okay, so now I'm right here in the chart, and I'm not going to count all this. Like, no, not right now. Later on. So I'm actually going to go all the way back up here where I have these big blocks of color and start there again. The reason why is because I'm not counting all that. I can use this bottom section that I just stitched to help with all that stuff right now, but there's so much like white space. I'm just going to fill it out a little bit before I have to deal with like intense counting. And that's literally, I mean, like I said, these are my tips for getting stuff done faster. But my goal with, any Heaven Earth design project is for it to be done as soon as possible so I can start the next one, right? Because you want to do all of these beautiful, gorgeous charts that Michelle puts together for us. But, there's not enough hours in the day and not enough years in our life. So that's why I do this type of, this tent stitching. And now I'm actually going to do modified again. Because earlier I was all over the place. Okay, so now we're back up here. So this is back to your traditional type of stitching. That's not fancy at all. Okay, so also definitely please let me know if like changing the time would work for you or not work for you. Next week, okay, these stitches are too tight. You can see white space in between them. Okay, so next week I'm going to do it at, I think I'm going to do it at 7 o'clock my time, which is 9 p.m. your time. Most of you are Eastern time. Well, maybe not most of you, but I was just going to switch it up, and for those of us who, I know you guys are like busy and have stuff going on, but I will let you know officially what the time is. I mean, I could do pretty much any time of the day as long as I modify my schedule for it to work out. But it never hurts to change things up, right? Alright, these stitches are better because they're tighter together. I don't know what was going on with those stitches over there, but whatever, it's fine. If you're stitching right now, send me an emoji. I want to see who is stitching. Is there anyone stitching, or am I the lone stitcher? What's going down? Is anyone working on anything? Alright, I got a like. There are some people that are stitching right now. How cool. Stitching all over the world. Woo woo. So I'm doing a virtual stitching retreat in another group. It's in my group, actually, my Fit and Stitch group. And we are actually trying the Zoom call. So I may do a Zoom call in this group. That's true, Alex. I know. I was just trying to switch it up sometimes. I mean, I'm pretty flexible. It is what it is. I know everyone's like literally all over the world. People in New Zealand. People all like literally all over. Anyway, so I'm going to try the Zoom, which is a video type of interface where you can like stitch and we can all see you and all that stuff. So I'm just going to try it out over there for this virtual retreat we have going on. And then if it works out okay, I think it'll be really cool to actually find a way to like do something similar in this group. So we shall see. Okay, these stitches are looking weird. Maybe I missed something? Thankfully, stitches fluff up when you wash your piece, so that's good. Okay, we're just going to keep going. Overall, obviously you don't want your tension to be too loose and too tight. Doing tent stitch can really look awesome if you have the right type of tension and if you use the right number of threads. Obviously, on 18 count, you wouldn't do 10 stitch with 2 pieces of floss, right? That would not look good. But, I mean, it's entirely up to you. Don't you love how we have so many choices? Sorry, I just kicked the camera by accident. Choices. Definitely try out the Easy Count or Magic Grid fabric. Does anyone use Easy Count or Magic Grid? Because it's awesome. It's a must. I mean, you don't technically have to. But I'm just saying that it makes life a lot easier. Obviously, when you start stitching after a while, it may be hard to figure out where your stitches go because you don't have the grid. However, I will show you that too whenever I finish a color, which, like I said, I'm so close to being done with my dragon. It will be done by October. It has to be. So I'm ready to move on with my life. I'm not going to make it to the 3-year mark with that one. No, sirree. I think it's been 2.5 years. Over 2.5 years on that piece. So, and I haven't really been doing anything else other than that. I've just been doing a couple things here and there, but you know. Okay. Yes, Nikki, easy count is awesome. Yes. Becky, I sound echoey? Girl, I don't know. Interesting. I don't mean to sound echoey. Does anyone else think I sound echoey? I don't know. It's not my fault, I promise. There's always something happening. Hey, at least my camera works and the screen isn't all weird like it was when I tried like actually to do a live stream on YouTube back when we were in the hotel for like 10 years. Oh, okay, Becky. I don't know, girl. And yeah, the screen was messed up in the hotel, and I realized it was the speed of the internet. Well, my husband realized and told me, and I was just like, oh, okay, well, that's great. But luckily, we're not there anymore. Woo! What happened, Becky? What are you talking about? Oh, you had a typo? I don't know. I'm trying to like look back and forth and stitch at the same time. Multitasking. Becky, it's cold. Well, for me, it's cold. But, I mean, it's been like 60s on the morning. I don't know. 60s-ish. I don't know. And, I was watching the news today, and I was seeing, like, what's going on in Texas, and I was like, oh my gosh, is that going to happen here? And my husband's, like, laughing at me. Because I'm so used to having hurricanes in Florida, you know? Like literally hurricanes, well, not actually experiencing them, but having the hurricane and the tornado scares. So when I see that on TV, I'm like, it's coming. And then I realize I'm in Colorado and I'm like, oh, I guess they don't have those things here. So I thought it was interesting to see like weather changes. All right, I have a minute left. I'm just going to go as soon as I finish this. Also, if you have questions, please post below. I'm happy to do a stitch talk based around your questions. Next time, I really am going to have to try to find music, though, because I think that would be cool. Okay, Becky, that's good. I had figured that that's how it was. Alright, my lovelies, it is about, hey Bethan, everyone gets on at the end. See, this is why I'm just going to do it later. I will pick a different time, because I have to go now, and everyone's like, saying, hey, how cool. Okay. Hey Bethan, I'm so happy you're stitching with me. I'm still going to be stitching, because I have another video to do. But, yeah, so thanks guys for hopping on. I hope you enjoyed this. I just basically give you some ideas in regards to counting. This is how I go about it, and this is how I don't make some mistakes. And I can't be frogging, you know. Can't be having the frog visit, because anybody got time for that. So, the struggle. Anyway, yeah. So I'll be back next week, Friday. Probably at a different, well, for sure at a different time. Probably a little bit later. We'll see. And then we can go from there. But thanks so much for joining. Remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will post this video there when I'm done. And definitely let me know if the later time is going to work for you. Obviously, like Alex said, and I know you can't like make everyone happy, and we all have different times and all that stuff. But yeah, for those of you who are in my Fit and Stitch group, I'm going to go ahead and start the Zoom call, and then we can start our stitching retreat fun. Woo woo. So I'm super excited about that. So I will check you guys and see you over there if you're in that group and doing that virtual stitching retreat. Outside of that, I will be back next week. Thanks so much for watching. Love you guys. Hope you have an awesome week. And I am now going to say